It's not every year that we have the opportunity to focus solely on Pekudei without Vayakel. So I thought maybe we'd mention one idea related to the end of the Parsha. Because Pekudei really brings to a close the procedure of building the Mishkan. We've had all of the Tzivuyim and Truma and Tetzaveh. We've had the actual construction in Vayakel. And now we have the Eila Pekudei HaMishkan. Now we have the opportunity, and Moshe gives with full transparency. Chazal tell us that's the 1,775 shkalim that were used for the Vadim, that they were suspect of Moshe Rabbeinu, and they were even of Moshe Rabbeinu. People were afraid of it. There were rumors that he had taken money for himself, and Moshe had to show that there was a full accounting of every little thing, and he was stressed when he couldn't. He wanted to show that he was clean, that he had nothing to hide, and he didn't know where this 171,775 shkalim worth of silver were used, and he was stressed, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu reminded, it was for the Vavim. And at the end of that process, the Torah tells us, everything was finished. And Bnei Yisrael did everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had, and it was a lot of details. The Jewish people did it all. And then they bring the Mishkan to Moshe, and the Mishkan is fully erected. But the problem is that the pasuk isn't true. The pasuk isn't true. The Jewish people didn't do it. What does it mean, Vayasu Bnei Yisrael? Bitzalel, he had some workers. It wasn't all the Jewish people. It was specific people that were tasked with the construction of the Mishkan. So it was Bitzalel, it was the Chachmei Lev. We spoke last week about the Nidvei Lev, the people had the passion and found it deep inside them to be able to help out for the Mishkan. So what's the pasuk talking about? The Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh asks the question. He says, I don't understand. But it was only certain people that did it. So why is it that it says that the Bnei Yisrael did it? So he says, we have a concept of shlucho shel adam kamoso. That the shaliach, that a messenger of a person, is like the person himself. Uki'ilu kol Yisrael asu. And it's as if the Jewish people did it. Okay, but where was that shlichus? When was it said, when was it stated that it should be done in such a way? And why was it so important? And he continues, it doesn't say anywhere that he was a shaliach. It says that he did it because Hashem commanded. So why would the Torah stress that it's the Klal Yisrael? They didn't send him. They agreed. It's an interesting pshat. But he also says, it was showing that Klal Yisrael are one when it comes to the Torah. And maybe the idea is that when there's a project that's being, there's an entity of Klal Yisrael. And yes, sometimes I need to have a shliach, I need to have a messenger that does something on my behalf, and it's as if I did it. But there are other times when a person represents a company, represents something much larger than himself, and therefore it doesn't require shlichus. It's just that I am part of something that is much larger than myself, and when I do it, of course it's on behalf. It doesn't need an explicit commandment. It's almost like the chiluk, like the difference between the korban of an individual and the korban of the tzibur. Right, the korban of an individual, if the owner dies after the person is sent to do it, you can't bring the korban anymore. So how do we have a korban of the tzibur that Mefarshim want to know? There's always somebody somewhere passed away. Isn't that going to be a problem? No. Because Klal Yisrael are a unit. Klal Yisrael are one. And the chiddush that the Torah is trying to stress is that when there is work that's being done for the tzibur, by members of the tzibur, it is the tzibur. Because we are one united front. And when we work together for something, and when we do things on behalf of the Klal, then it's a different type of experience. It's a different entity than when we just do something on behalf of somebody else. And that perhaps is what the Torah is stressing, is the power that we have when we are united. And it's uniquely true of Klal Yisrael, but the truth is that we see that it's true, and as we see that that's going on in the world right now. The power of people working together. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should continue to give the people in the Ukraine the strength, but the solidarity and the passion with which they work together gives them powers that are beyond just the individuals. It gives them a strength which can go deeper and beyond. And that's something for us all to learn from, is the importance of being together, of being united. And when we work together towards something, and we're part of a klal, we're part of a larger entity, we're part of this corporation. And when that corporation, in particular of Klal Yisrael, is working as one, is moving the world forward, then hopefully these parshios of the Hakamas HaMishkan, of HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shechina, once again residing in the Jewish people, will once again come true with us. V'asuli mikdash, and we will be able to create that mikdash, all of us together. Maybe we're not going to be the ones building it, but it's going to be done for all of us. V'shachanti v'sacham, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shechina will be shora amongst us.